Hi, I'm Bob Weeks. In Wichita, we have a planning process called Visioneering Wichita. The mayor, city council, and business community think very highly of Visioneering and what it has accomplished. But the Wichita economy has not performed well, and the gap between Wichita and the rest of the country is growing. Here's a Visioneering Wichita goal. Stop the 21-year decline of Wichita per capita income as a percentage of U.S. per capita income before 2011. And then by 2024, exceed the annual average of Omaha, Tulsa, Kansas City, and Oklahoma City. These are what we call our Visioneering peers. So what is the record in Wichita? First, there are problems with per capita measures, but that's a topic for another video. Here's a chart provided by Visioneering in a recent presentation made to the Wichita City Council. It's difficult to see the trends, but note the source of data, the Bureau of Economic Analysis, and note also our peer cities. I gathered data from BEA and used Tableau Public to create an interactive visualization. You can use it too on my website, The Voice for Liberty at wichitaliberty.org. Here we see time along the horizontal axis and per capita income on the vertical, and there's a line plotted for each metropolitan area and all U.S. metropolitan areas. Note that Wichita, I'll highlight it here for you, is in last place. I'll zoom in for a closer look. Well, for the first 20 years since 1969 when this data series started, Wichita did well. Let me filter for those years so that you can see. But starting around 1990, Wichita has fallen behind. I'll highlight Wichita and the U.S. for these years. And over the last 10 years, the gap between Wichita and the U.S. is increasing. Remember, the goal of Visioneering is stop the 21-year decline of Wichita per capita income as a percentage of U.S. per capita income before 2011. From this data, you can see this hasn't worked. The policies we're following in Wichita, they're not the right policies. Or it might be that we don't have the right people, the right politicians and bureaucrats to implement these policies successfully. At one time, Wichita flourished with entrepreneurs and entrepreneurships. Now instead, we rely on the public-private partnership for economic growth and economic development. We have names like Lloyd Stearman, Walter Beach, Clyde Cessna, W.C. Coleman, Albert Alexander Hyde, Dan and Frank Carney, and Fred C. Koch. These people worked and built businesses without the benefit of public-private partnerships and government subsidy. But today, our state is strangling entrepreneurs, expanding control over economic development even under the leadership of a conservative governor, Sam Brownback. Kansas has expanded the realm of public-private partnerships to the detriment of entrepreneurship. And this tradition of entrepreneurship in Wichita is disappearing, being replaced by the public-private partnership and programs like Visioneering Wichita, the Sustainable Communities Planning Effort, the Greater Wichita Economic Development Coalition, the Regional Economic Area Partnership, and just plain old rampant cronyism at City Hall. And the trend under our current leaders is for more of this top-down, centralized planning of our local economy. Although when given a chance, voters are rejecting cronyism. But a few years ago, at a Wichita City Council meeting, Mayor Carl Brewer said, if government had not played some kind of role in guiding and identifying how the city was going to grow, how any city was going to grow, I'd be afraid of what that would be, because we would still be in covered wagons and horses. There would be no change, he said. You remember when President Obama said, you didn't build that. Well, Mayor Carl Brewer's remarks are worse than you didn't build that. The mayor of Wichita is telling us that you can't build that. Not without government guidance and innovation anyway. Our planners and leaders are not doing a good job. What we've been doing isn't working.